All right, so today we are dealing with volumes of spheres, and the volume of a sphere is calculated with a bit of a different formula than the others we've dealt with so far. So, the volume of a sphere is going to be found using the formula 4/3 pi times radius cubed. So, this one being a bit different, there is a way you can just type this straight into your calculator, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you're using a calculator in which fractions are a challenge, you will want to type this into your calculator like this. So volume equals 4 times pi times radius cubed, which radius cubed, remember, you'll type in your radius, then the little caret button, then the 3, and then you'll divide all of that by 3 at the very end. So 4 times pi times radius to the third power, or radius cubed, divided by 3. Okay, so that is our formula for volume of spheres. And the other thing I would like to draw attention to is we will not only be calculating the volume of spheres, but we will also deal with hemispheres. So hemispheres, of course, are half a sphere. So in that case, you would find your volume using the two ways I've outlined previously, and then at the end, you will just divide by 2. So for hemispheres, you will divide by 2 because you are only finding the volume of half a sphere. All right, let's get into some examples. So, number 1, they give us a radius of 8 centimeters. So, we're going to want to plug that into our formula. So, 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So, first thing I want to do, I'm going to do 8 to the third power. So, 8 to the third power is 512. So, now I'm left with 4 times pi times 512 divided by 3 is going to equal my volume. Now, let's do my 512 times 4 times pi, and I get a large number of 6433.981755. And so I'm just going to put that straight in my calculator, so I have that as my answer. Now I'm going to hit the division button, divide by 3, and I'm left with 2144.66 centimeters cubed. Reminder, this is volume, so we are using cubed units. Okay, next we have a hemisphere. So we're going to do the same first steps. So we're going to say volume equals, and then I'm going to say 4 times pi times, and now I'm going to type in my radius. So 4.2 to the third power. I'm typing that into my calculator, and I'm going to get 74.00 or 0.088. So I'm going to type that 74.088, since that is my radius cubed, and that all is going to be divided by 3. So let's type that into our calculator. So times 4 pi equals, so I get 931 and change divided by 3. So the volume of this sphere would be 310.34, but we only have half the sphere. We have a hemisphere. So we're going to want to divide that answer by 2. So divide by 2, which would be 155.17. 155.17 millimeters cubed. All right. And theoretically, if we wanted to, instead of dividing by 3, then dividing by 2, if we were dealing with a hemisphere, we could just say we'll divide by 6 off the jump. But if that doesn't work in your brain, you can always do it the way we've just done this previous one, dividing by 3, then dividing by 2. So let's look at our next one. So we have the volume of this sphere. So the volume of this sphere is going to be 4 times pi times our radius cubed, which I'm going to type into my calculator right now, 6.25 to the third power, which is going to be 244.14. And then going to divide that by 3. So let's type the rest into our calculator. Times 4 pi equals divided by 3, and we are left with 1022.65 inches cubed. Lovely. Now our final problem, they give us a diameter of 6 feet. So our first step would be to calculate what the radius is. And since the diameter is, of course, 2 times the radius, and in this case our diameter is 6, so our radius is going to equal 3 feet. Now we can just plug that straight into our formula. So volume equals 4 times pi. That was a horrible pi sign, but you know what, we'll deal with it. 4 times pi times radius to the third power, and 3 to the third power would be 27 divided by 3. So let's punch this into our calculator. 4 times pi times 27 equals 339 divided by 3. So the volume of this sphere would be 113.1, but we of course have a hemisphere, so we only have half the sphere, so we're going to want to divide that by 2, which will leave us 56.55 feet cubed as our volume. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great